So today's video is 25 books that I hopefully, fingers crossed, will read in 2025. It feels so weird to say that now. But it is currently January 6th. I need to upload my January TBR. I've got to edit that today, post it. So you may see me in this sweater multiple times. Don't worry, same day. I'm just doing a lot of stuff. Anyways, to get on to the 25 books that I have sitting next to me, the parameters that I'm setting onto this are 25 books that I already own that have been sitting on my TBR for a little bit. For a while, whether that be physically or just have been on my TBR list for quite a while. But yeah, so most of these are taken up by series, so I decided that I was gonna include a whole series in here of other than the books that I've already read and won't be rereading this year in this. So yeah, so well, let's get started with the first book, which is the newest addition to my library, but one that I've had my eye out on since forever. It is From Ash and Blood by Jennifer L. Armentrout. I am so excited to get to read this. I have been wanting to read this forever, and I've just never had like the chance to, or had the chance to physically like read it, and I really wanted that because I want that kind of like addicting fantasy feel from it, and that's the kind of vibe I'm getting from this series, and I'm so excited to start this series. But yeah, this is the first 2025 out of the 25 books. Next up, we have another new addition to the library, and we have Pestilence by Laura Thalisa. I have no idea how you say her name, but I've also had my eye out on this one for quite a while, and it's a romantasy, and very excited to read the Four Horsemen series because it just sounds like a book series that I would love to read. So yeah, this is one of them. Next up, we have our first series, and the copy of Binding 13 that I'm going to show in this, hint hint, for the series, it is not my copy. It is what is going to be my friend's, because I decided that for her Christmas present I was going to read and annotate Binding 13 for her. And so this is what is going to become her future copy. So I will have to reread Binding 13 in order to do that. And then after I finish that, I want to continue on with the series and read these 4 books that I currently own. And I'm so excited to get to this series. Binding 13 was one of my favorites in 2024, and I just never continued on the story because I was like, I didn't want to rush through it, but now I would rather read it quickly than not read it at all. So yeah, the Boys of Thomas series. I'm so excited to get to what's his name? Joey's books, because I'm just so scared about these two. But yeah, hopefully I'll also get to Taming 7 in 2025, but I don't know. That one's the shortest out of the series, I think. But it's also not finished, and she has so many more books planned, so I am kind of scared with how long I'm gonna have to wait between each book coming out. So yeah. And then moving on with the next series, we have the Inheritance Games series. All the ones that I have. I do not own the newest one that came out, The Games Untold, which I'm pretty sure is just a collection of short stories. You'll have to fact check me on this. The one thing is, this book doesn't match the rest of these three. Like, look right there. Anyways, yeah, I want to finally finish the Inheritance Games series. I've read both the Inheritance Games and the Hawthorne Legacy. I just never continued on with it. Again, I didn't want to fly through it, and I ended up stopping and then never actually finished it when it was all coming out. So, that's gonna be something that I get to this year. And then also by Jennifer Lynn Barnes, we have The Grandest Game that I want to read, because this is a spin-off series of the Inheritance Games. I believe these are like her children or something, or like, I have no idea. But yeah, it'll be fun to read when we get to that. But I decided to put all of these on my TBR, or on the 25 books to read, because I desperately need to read all of these, and I have friends that keep telling me to read them, and I have not read them yet. So that's gonna be something that I do eventually in 2025. So okay, this next book is not part of a series. It's part of like a world, I guess. I think it's a duology. I'm not sure if there's more books coming out, but it's The Stolen Heir by Holly Black. I started reading this book in 2024. I just didn't really feel like getting into it at the time. I got like about 100-ish pages into it, and I just wasn't feeling the story at the time. So hopefully I'll give this another go and I'll love it. So, and then we have a book that has been sitting on my TBR for ages that I've been wanting to read, and it is not Shadow and Bone, Serpent and Dove by Shelby Morin. I bought this as like when I think I was in like 6th or 7th grade, because I was like, oh, I hear that a lot of people have been raving about this book, because this one was one of the early book talk books, and so I bought it, and then I just have never read it. So hopefully we'll finally get to this book in this series. I'm not too sure if I'm gonna love it, because I have heard like differing opinions on it, but we'll see. I might as well try it when I can. So, and we have, if you know me, you know that My Fault was one of my favorite movies ever. And so I bought the book. I still have not read it yet. So this is one of the books that I put on here because I need to read this series this year. like, because the second movie has come out. I have not watched the second movie yet. I'm so scared. I'm waiting to watch it with my bestie. But yeah, I desperately need to read this book, and I still haven't. That's why all of these books are on here, because I desperately need to read them, and I haven't. So, yeah. The next up, from one of my favorite authors of all time, is Immortal Longings by Chloe Gong. I started reading this last year. I got like 150 pages into it, and then I had to return it to the library because there was such a long hold on it because it had just come out at the time. And then I bought it this summer because it's like $50 to buy it up here in Canada. So I bought it this summer while I was down in the States, and I just never got around to reading it while I was down there. So I obviously brought it back up with me. I was gonna bring it back up anyways. And now I have to read it here because this is a start of her new series, and I believe the second book has already come out in this series. So hopefully I'll get around to that this year because it's on the 25 books that I have to read in 2025. And then we have the final book in the Shanghai, I guess, her These Violent Delights universe. I love These Violent Delights so much. That is one of my favorite of all time series. I read it when I was in like 8th or 9th grade, and I've reread it every year since then, I believe. So hopefully during my yearly reread, I will finally get to finishing Foul Heart Huntsman, because I just haven't wanted to finish such a beautiful series. But I guess this is the year that I finally have to put down this series and put all of these characters to rest. I can still go back and reread them, but okay. The drama. Anyways, next up we have also another one of my newest additions, because I bought it on Boxing Day. I bought Brutal Obsession by S. Mastery, and it's a dark hockey romance, and she's a ballerina. He's a hockey player, famous and stuff, and she's a ballerina, I think. But I'm so excited to read this because I bought it and Larry loves it so much, and so I bought it and I was like, I need to read it because this is my first dark romance that I've ever owned by myself. So yeah, Brutal Obsession. We're gonna read it this year. Next up we have a chunky book. A thick book. If you know this one is also a popular book talk book, but from 2024. It is When the Moon Hatched. It's the first in the Moonfall series by Sarah A. Parker, and it is, I think, like, it's almost 700 pages. So it's a pretty thick book. And it has a whole bunch of dragons and stuff, and basically just coolness in it. And so you bet your butt this book is getting read. I'm so sorry. Yeah. Anyways, When the Moon Hatched, it's gonna be read in 2025. Okay. Next up, we're nearing the end. We only have one more stack. It's The Serpent and the Wings of Night by Carissa Broadbent. I thought it was only a duet, but apparently there's a third book. Because there's The Ashes and the Star-Cursed King, but then a new book came out. So I don't know if she decided to make a spin-off series or what, but I bought this book because I saw it on TikTok, and then I was like, you know what, that sounds like a book I would read. And so I bought it and haven't read it, but I want to. So I've tried reading her other book series. I tried starting it, but I just couldn't get into it, the Daughter of No World series. So hopefully this one will be easier for me to get into and attempt to read in 2025. And then next up, we have, if you know right now, I'm attempting to do a Throne of Glass readathon, which I need to update that vlog if you are still wanting one. But I'm planning on finishing the Throne of Glass series. Oh my gosh, this is so heavy. The Throne of Glass series in 2025. I restarted my readathon in December, and I ended up getting halfway through Crown of Midnight, and so we're on a good track for this year. We're on a good track. A lot of these are gonna be on my planned out TBRs, and yeah, we're gonna get books done. We're gonna read books. Frick yeah, we are. We're gonna read this series. Yeah. Am I still gonna do TBR videos? Yeah. But will these be on my main TBR that I pick from? Absolutely. So that is all 25 books, actually. That is all I have for you. Well, I guess that's my 25 books that I have to read in 2025. I guess that's it. I guess that's all. So hope you enjoyed the video. Thanks for sticking around. Thanks for chilling with me, and thanks for hanging around while I'm being my odd self. And thanks for coming along with me into 2025. I didn't post in 2024. I posted nothing. So, yeah. Thanks for joining me on my YouTube journey in 2025. So, thanks. Nice to see you. Nice to meet you if this is your first time here. This is only my second video up. So let me know if you have any video recommendations you would like me to do. Anything that you would maybe be interested in seeing. But so far, yeah. Nice to see you. Nice to talk to you. But bye, lovelies.
Hey, it's me.